There's so many times in life where we doubt ourselves, where we don't think that we're all that. We don't have the energy to care about other people, potentially, and ourselves. Whenever I come to the woods, I learn to establish that care again. It slows me down, the ability to look around at these much older, wiser organisms, right? They've been around for a long, long time. And they're living in harmony. Right? Each of these trees, their bark offers a refuge for all these little organisms. Their roots have this beautiful interaction with the soil around them. They help younger plants grow that don't have access to light through mycorrhizal networks. Deeply interconnected, each of these organisms. And they live so happily in these serene moments that I hope you have the opportunity to experience every now and then in life, especially when you're feeling stressed out and potentially a lack of self-love or a lack of direction in life. Sometimes it's good to reconnect with the essence of it, right? Like the only aspiration, if there was any, for any of these things is just to grow, right? To live this kind of growth-driven community life. That's nature's purpose when we are a part of nature. Like a long time ago, we kind of decided to separate from that, and I think it's to our detriment, to be honest. I think of all of the goals and aspirations that I set for myself as almost a comparison point to some of the most powerful people in society. I believe I have those skills and I'm building that up. The funny part is every single one of them probably comes to the woods at some point in their life and they stand there for a while and look at things and realize that's it. That's really what it's all about anyway. But when you're old and decrepit, sure, you'll have a legacy, a life, an impact that hopefully you respect, care for. But before your dying days, you will look back at these things, these beautiful trees, and this nature, and realize you are going back to it, your soul and body. That's the power of transcendental meditation, in my opinion. The ability to reconnect us to an essential constant in human life, which is nature. Serene moments in nature. I've been thinking about how sometimes we don't have the most productive days. You know, we might have a list of things that we want to get done, and look, I got some paint on my hat. List of things that we want to get done, and you know, we have this false sense of progress, even though the moment should be all that matters. We wake up the next day. I think a lot of people will fall into the trap of saying, whatever, that thing that I've been doing for a week, a couple days, maybe a month, what's another 4 or 5 days of me not doing it? What's another 4 or 5 days of these plants not growing, right? These ones on the ground here, guys up above. What is another 4 or 5 days of them not doing that? Well, essentially it's their death, because the ones around them that are working, that are growing, they're going to say, listen, We're doing our part. You got to do yours. Because they actually need each other to survive. These plants, they communicate together, right? They're being attacked by some sort of parasitic organism. They'll release chemicals that will allow the plants near them to understand that they're going through something, and so then they can harden their defenses. Any part of the ecosystem that is not robust actually is a detriment to the rest of it. Now, humans, we don't think of ourselves as part of an ecosystem. We're very money driven or possession driven, sure. But the reality is, if you look at a society, if you look at a culture, every human in that culture, in that society, has a part to play. Whether or not they believe it's important doesn't really matter, because in the end it is. Just like any of these plants next to one another. If one becomes diseased, or if a human is emotionally compromised, right, the ones around it will feel it. The ones around us will feel it. That affects us. That affects our mood, things we go through. So, get out of the way of this man. How we doing? Have a good one. So I love coming to the woods too. You find a lot of happy people here. Maybe some little brooding, maybe going through some shit, sure. But for the most part, I mean, almost every single time I come out on one of these trails in the suburbs, just happy people, man. Them, Why wouldn't you want to surround yourself with that energy? Right? You could argue, hey, these happy people are blissful, that they're not accomplishing anything, and like, what the hell, what's the point, right? But there needs to be this balance in life. You hear this all the time, sure, but how do you strike it? It's an individual balance at the end of the day. And I think the counterpoints are the growth thing that I was talking about, and a constant, right? Saying to yourself, I'm part of this whole thing. This grounds me. This is part of the soul. I heard an Instagram post from that one crazy dude from The Office. I haven't watched The Office, excuse me. But he was saying that we're spiritual beings having a human experience, which in my conception of things is probably pretty accurate, because I believe in reincarnation. I believe that we're born again and again to kind of experience this experience life in different ways. Maybe you transcend into other organisms, whatnot. So in order for me to rectify that, or to genuinely dig into it, I have to then believe that this life, this current life that I'm going through, is an extension of a longer, deeper life, like the life of my spirit, I suppose. And if I can show my spirit the love and the beauty in the world around me, and that'll probably carry through. It's like how we would think about investments. Like investing in your experience essentially means being present in it, carving out memories for yourself, being optimistic about going into something, but also when being a part of it, to remember little moments of, hey, I was in a knee-high shrubbery, and the sun was out, and there was trees, and I got to look around and breathe in some really clean air full of these messages from all these plants around me, like, hey, I'm chilling, or I'm distressed, or it's a good day, the sun's out, right? You know that if you touch a plant, like if I touch this plant right here, it feels it, It almost sends out like a neural wave to the rest of the plant saying, hey, I'm getting touched here. Watch out. Every time a raindrop hits a plant, it feels it. I assume it's very happy about it too. But remember, raindrops also carry pathogens and whatnot. But incredibly deep organisms. And we know so very little about them. Right? And so many other organisms we know so very little about. Like, what does this dragonfly think on the daily? Maybe it's not thinking. Oh, but are we really thinking? I remember coming across a couple of kind of more spiritual videos, and the guy, this like older dude, for better or worse, he was saying that, why are you thinking about your thoughts? Why are you allowing your thoughts to become your reality? Because we don't really know who we are, what we are. We don't know our effect on the environment. Like me stepping on this grass, like I don't know how many bugs I killed, how many lives I've changed. You know what I mean? Like me smiling at someone, I don't know if I made their day or made them think, wow, that guy's weird. You know, like we literally have no idea about our impact or effect. So why are we so concerned about our own thoughts about ourselves or other people's thoughts about us? Like, it hardly matters. Like these plants, every day you're just growing. So just put positive thoughts in, you know? Try to be positive about your life. Regardless of what you're going through, if you put positivity in, you have this kind of mindset that I'm just going to grow and get better at little things I do here and there. No, not here and there. Every day, as much as you can, you're going to live a happier life. This video is a little bit more about that happy life concept. Transcendental meditation, the power it has on changing our perspective. I'll see you over there. Remember, actualize your potential, my friend. Take care.